Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, the Praying Missus. And today I actually have another treat for you guys, another family recipe, and also a little bit of home cleaning today. This is the channel for everything God, home decor, and more. So if that's something that you like, please stay tuned. And our verse of the day is about being content. We're coming upon the Thanksgiving season, and being thankful for the things that we already have and being content is really what it's all about. So in this video, we'll be going over a step-by-step process of a passed down recipe, and also just catching the vibes of what does it really mean to be humble, and what does it really mean to be content in the things that we already have. So if that's something that you like, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, ladies and gents, first and foremost, I never like to work in a dirty kitchen. So first we're going to clean this up. During the week it gets kind of busy, things like that. So sometimes on the weekend is the time when I really have a chance to clean up and things like that. And I know the working parents out there understand what I mean by that. So we're going to take some time to clean up first. Little step-by-step process with that. There's my husband coming through, so we just took the opportunity to kind of clean up. We had the day off, fortunately, for Veterans Day weekend, and we actually just took some time to kind of get the house together from the week. So blessed just to be able to have a day off together and kind of get the time that we need to do these type of things. So here I am just getting the dishes prepared. I don't have a dishwasher or any of those type of technologies. So I am the dishwasher. We usually just wash the dishes by hand. But you see me here clearing the sink first, and then just getting things prepared to get everything just all cleaned up and spick and span and get things fresh and prepared. I don't know about you guys, but it's just something very therapeutic about just cleaning for me. I didn't always enjoy doing the dishes as a child growing up, of course, but now I kind of see the benefit in just taking the time to get your space clean. And for whatever reason, When I do wash dishes, that's the time I spend, usually praising God for just the simple things of being able to stand up and wash my dishes and having a home to do those things in. It's really a time for me to kind of just zone out and just think about and reflect on those things that I am grateful for. So actually, doing the dishes for me has, in my latter years and my 30s and things like that, have really been a time for me to kind of reset myself and reset my mind. And I also just feel like the presence of the Lord can, really just reach you in a clean environment. I mean, when your mind is focused and you have space to work with, and you don't have things all cluttered in front of you, I just really think it helps to clear your mind. So for me, having my home and before I cook, having my kitchen clean and things like that is really therapeutic for me. Um, I don't know if anyone else is out there is like that, but if you agree, uh, then you know what I'm talking about. It's really something that's very helpful for my mental health as well, just to keep my spaces clean. And here I am just trying to, get the dishes clean. I kind of go in and I wash and dry as I go. Our kitchen, we have to really think about the space that we use, and so drying as I wash little by little kind of is very helpful. And here we go, getting my dishwater together, making sure I use Dawn. I like to get a good amount of pumps in there because I really like my dishes just to come out without any types of oil or residue and things like that. So that's very important for me. And just making sure I have my dishwater ready to wash the dishes. And I usually either when it gets a little bit dirty, I usually keep the dishwater for when I am cooking as well. I'll probably replace it once or twice while I'm doing that, just so I can always have some water on hand just to clean as I go. I think that's very important too, just because by the time I finish making this meal, I really want to sit down and relax and enjoy it also. So I'm about to go in here with the little scrub mommy. I really enjoy these little sponges. Usually I would just buy regular sponges, but I tried these. Actually, my mom bought me one before. She's always buying me stuff. I'm so blessed. But I started to buy them myself now. Now I'm kind of really hooked on them now. So I'm just going in, getting these, using a little elbow grease and starting to work my way through this stack of dishes. Usually after midway through, I usually start the cooking process just so I can kind of clean as I go. And like as I am dirtying dishes up as I'm cooking, I can still get those clean as well. So you'll see me here transition to that in a little bit. so now here you guys just see me clearing off the counter just to make sure I get that area clean and things like that, because I'm about to prepare the food right after I am done with this process. So I like to clear everything off at least every now and then, just to make sure that I am getting those spaces that, things have built up over a few weeks or so like that. So as you can see, there's a bit of stains right there. So we're gonna get our products and we're gonna scrub this down really quick, and then we're gonna start prepping our meal. Now that everything is all clean, doesn't it look so much better? Now I can really focus on getting this meal done. This is how it turned out after I got done. And here we are getting the meat prepared. Tonight we're actually gonna do oxtails. I don't know if I even mentioned that yet, but yes, we're doing oxtails. Um, I have all my ingredients here. So I'm going in with my pollo bouillon seasoning, my chicken bouillon seasoning. There's my favorite blue pot again. I'm telling you, that Dutch oven works wonders. But I put about 2 tablespoons of the chicken bouillon seasoning instead of salt, because it has enough salt in it. Then I'm going in with some black pepper. You put in as much as you like or as little as you like, but I like mine a little bit with a kick. So we make it a good amount of black pepper. And then, since this is oxtails, the way I was taught to do it was make it as flavorful as possible and more Caribbean inspired. This is curry that I'm using here. Curry is an important seasoning, I feel like, for oxtails, especially because it just brings back so many memories from my childhood, different family events, and that's usually the flavor that was the most dominant flavor. And then I'm going to also add a little bit of chili flakes, not too much, but I do like the natural chili flakes because it gives it that extra little kick of spice without, if not going too far if you just use a little bit. So the next step is I'm going to be using some liquid seasoning, some liquid smoke. And this right here is the garlic powder. Can't forget that. Getting it in there. All right. And then, like I said, I was going in this time with some liquid smoke seasoning. I kind of wanted to have a bit of like a hickory taste to it, smoky taste to it. So I decided to add this. This is the first time I'm actually using this. So if you try this recipe, just let me know how you like this version of it. Actually, it turned out pretty good. So I probably will be keeping this in my repertoire moving forward. So here I'm just opening it up and just kind of eyeballed how much I wanted to put in there. little bit here and there. I like to just go ahead and marinate the meat in the pot that I'm going to use. It's like a one pot meal. Like seriously, whatever will save me time and not have to go back and wash a whole lot of dishes after I just clean them. I'm going to do it. Also, I almost forgot I need to add my balsamic vinegar. I think with any beef, balsamic vinegar, or even lamb, anything that's kind of gamey, balsamic vinegar just really helps to balance those flavors out a lot, and then add a lot of flavor to it once it gets reduced down through the cooking process. And then the last thing I'm actually going to add as far as seasoning, which is something relatively new too as well. I seen this jerk seasoning at my local grocery store, and you know what? I said, let's do this Jamaican inspired tonight. So we're gonna try this jerk seasoning here. It's a liquid marinade actually. And so what I did, I just kind of just poured it in there and just kind of let it sit for a few minutes all together in there before I even like really combined everything together. Once I got all those seasonings in there, this is kind of how it should look. The next step there, I got to chop that onion up. I want to add that to it. Usually I render down my oxtails for a little while. And basically that's just like searing them for a couple of minutes on every side to kind of bring the fat down. So right here, I'm mixing it up. I just wash my hands, and I like to stir it up with my hands to really get those seasonings all mixed up in there. You really want every inch of it to be flavorful. So you really just kind of work your way in there and get it all mixed up. I have many aunties in my family. God bless me with many aunties that really, and my mother as well, that really kind of helped to mold the person I am today, as far as like keeping your house together and keeping the Lord first. And a lot of these recipes it's all coming back to me in my adult ages, and very much becoming very useful, and things that I could pass down to my own children. So I really thank God for surrounding me with the type of people that have been in my life that taught me how to make something great out of small things, and just to be very just thankful for the things that I have and making the best out of my situations. Now, at this point, I had let it cook in the pot that I let it marinate in for probably about 15 minutes by that point. Really, like I said, I usually would just sear them, but since this time I put the marinade on there, the jerk marinade, I kind of just let them cook down for a little bit over the fire before I put them into the oven. And you can see by that point, like the onions were kind of going translucent by that point, and I put the lid on there. The next step to the process is just going to be to put it in the oven. The oven is really going to do most of the cooking for the oxtails at this point. So then the first hour, I let it just cook, kind of render down a little bit more in the oven, and then usually I check it after 1 hour. it's been about an hour at this point, and it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Oxtails is a slow cooking type of meat. You don't want to rush the process. So you just take it out after an hour just to check on it, just to stir it up. As you can see, I got my rice going also. I was deciding between potatoes and rice, and I just had rice on hand. So for this time, we just did rice again. Um, but as you can see, it's coming together. I'm just taking a few pieces, moving them around just so they can kind of get evenly cooked. I know they're not done yet because if you could kind of tell on the fork, it's not really tender. It's not like breaking the meat yet. So that's also an indicator that it's not quite done. So like I said, with these, you want to kind of let it cook. Don't rush the process. You want your oven on about 375 throughout this process. So first 20 minutes, kind of sear it down, render it down 15 to 20 minutes, and then 1 hour in the oven for 375. Take it out, check it, move things around a little bit. Make sure you don't need to add any liquid or water at that point. And at the hour point, I decided to add some frozen bell peppers in there. I had a medley of bell peppers, some green, red, and yellow ones. And so since it's gonna cook for another hour, this was the perfect time just to go ahead and add these in, just so they can start to absorb the flavor and cook down also. So I'm just giving it a quick stir, and I'm gonna put that back into the oven for another hour. Cooking, I wanted to take a few moments to break down today's verse. And these words are coming directly from Jesus. This is in Luke. This is chapter 12, verse 15. But I want to start a little bit up just to give you a context. So Jesus is speaking to a crowd with his disciples. And in verse 13 it starts, "And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother, that he divide the inheritance with me. And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in an abundance of the things which he possesseth." So what Jesus is telling us here is that the definition of covetousness is basically a person that is looking for riches and desires, strong desires of possessions. And what Jesus was telling the man here is that, don't just look to the inheritance to bring any value to your life, because the true value is not things of the earth, it's things that's stored up in heaven. And so these are the things that I like to reflect on. I'm the praying missus, but I'm not the perfect missus. And a lot of things I'm just still working on to better understand about myself. But one of those things I know that has helped me a lot is being content in what the Lord has already blessed us with, and looking towards Jesus for that salvation. And when we do need to be humbled sometimes, to look to the Word of God to put us in our right place and live a life of obedience. And so these are things that God has put on my heart to reflect in this channel. This channel is really not about me. It's really not about my skills of cooking or decor. It's really about just getting time to get the messages of God out there through things I enjoy in the creative side of me, because, God is a creator and he likes us to be creative, to be a reflection of him. So that verse is really kind of something that was the main focal point for this week's video. And just moving into the holiday season, I feel like it's something that's very important for us just to think about and reflect on. What do we already have? What has God already blessed us with? What sacrifices has Jesus made for us? And how we should be in confident hope of what those promises are for our lives. And so I feel that if we take more time just to reflect on those things that are good, things that are pure, and just reflect on those simple things that are such big blessings, that our lives can truly be transformed for the better, and we can really help this world become a better place. Now you made it to the end of this video, but before we go, I have to plate it up for you guys. So this is about 2 hours after it had cooked for about 375. I'm just making sure it's nice and tender, and it was awesome. So if you do try this recipe, don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me today.